Read more.
Yeah.
Listen to more. Hear more. See more.
I'm really giving away my cards here, but
Yeah.
but I think I reached a point where I was like, if God is love and truth and goodness and wholeness, if I continue to pursue these pillars, I trust that whatever isn't God will fall away. I'll get a new, maybe a new understanding of each of these things or something.
Yeah.
But what I call love now is very different than how I defined love while I was in the church.
There is the side of it that we know to be toxic, and I know there are contemplative Christians.
Yeah,
there
totally.
are
contemplative,
devout, religious people in all forms.
And still, when it comes to certain like synchronistic events in life that you're like, whoa, how did that happen? I still just recently, there was a former, she's also, I think, deconstructed since, but at the time she was a Christian. I was a practicing Christian. I really looked up to her for her music. It was a balmy salve in some of my darkest experiences in the industry and with my family. And I have no real life relationship with her. But about a week ago, I've been in quite a challenging spot personally. And I was, just roaming my home, and one of her songs popped in my head. And I had that moment of like, wow, this used to be so soothing and comforting. And although I've maybe adjusted some of my views since then, this is still striking me in a certain way. I opened my Instagram DMs and she messaged me. I don't have any relationship to her. And she said, "Hi, I felt a nudge. How are you?" In that moment, I'm like, even if I'm no longer fully involved in the way I was, there's still a currency energetically. There's still some sort of something at certain times that seems to defy just my material logic, right? So we're gonna, have a conversation in the next couple of days, and even though she too, I think, has left the church, the thing that we share is some sort of, I don't know. Tell me any other way.
Yeah.
What? Who?
No, that's one of those moments that
So
make you question reality. You're like,
Right.
whoa, there is a connection here that's deeper than I
Yeah.
can see.
Right. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be from a single figurehead saying, I'm going to arrange
Not
this
at
thing
all.
like a mastermind. But it's something that goes beyond maybe the faculties we typically utilize on a daily basis.
Yeah. Some of my development in my teenage years around feeling wonder towards life and actually tilting me more towards, I use God as the word. I don't even know what that fucking means, but we have that as the word. But something that pointed me more towards God, which doesn't happen for a lot of people, was actually a science show, okay? There's a show on the BBC called Wonders of the Solar System with
Hell
Brian
yeah.
Cox, and Wonders of the Universe is the next season. And he does such a beautiful job at explaining the forces that we know of the physical universe, okay, and the solar system. And in the show, he'll kind of show an example of something on Earth, a force that we all know, let's say tornadoes, and say, okay, that same force that's creating the tornado is what spiraled the planets into each other. And then he'll expand out to the solar system and show you something in the solar system and how it works. And the solar system is such a phenomenal balance of chaos and order. It's so immaculate that learning about the science of it actually led me closer to whatever God is. Because I was like, this is so beautiful and perfect and rhythmic and harmonious and miraculous that it even exists. That it led me closer to my own wonder. And I think that's a beautiful place to be in, that I think a lot of the church ends up not being. Is It's not about wonder. There's like a middleman to God, and it's about I don't know, whatever your practices are, and do that. But for me, when I feel closest to this life is like that experience you just had, I'm sure put you in a state of wonder. I randomly felt this song come back into my head this person is messaging me saying she had a feeling to check in on me and I don't know her.
Right.
That creates wonder. You go, what? I wonder
Yeah.
what this life is. I wonder how good it could be.
Right.
I wonder what I'm a part of.
Right. And it brings up the concepts of like resonance or something like alignment. And it was the first encounter with that sort of mystifying wonder and awe that I had had in a while. And so if it all boils down to just molecules doing funny interactions, I still am so grateful of that aspect, the reminder of that aspect of being alive, because
Yes.
I've been maybe in response to, my upbringing, I've probably been swinging to the opposite side of the pendulum, and I have this kind of like nihilistic streak. And I support the skepticism, but I don't want to completely forsake wonder and awe. Also, I think just as you're growing up and you're facing more directly the crises that we collectively are facing, and you're interacting with systems that are broken and need repair, and you're reckoning with all of these things that weren't ideal in your upbringing or for the folks around you, it can get heavy quickly, and you can wonder like, wow, I used to have access to hope, but I can't find it. I used to have access to joy, but I can't feel it. Or I don't believe in it anymore because everything else seems so grim. And so I think, that moment was like a reminder of the full spectrum of experience.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for it, for whatever, whatever caused it. And I don't need to know all the answers, but I can use that experience and information to really reflect on, okay, what do I want to do with this opportunity to connect with someone, and to maybe kind of recalibrate my course, so I'm not so far in one direction or the other,
Yeah.
but I'm like, okay, meandering as a full human.
Yeah, you still have access to possibility and
Yes. Because depression is real.
hope. No, I mean, it really hit me when you said that, because living without it is really hard, and it's a natural process that you come to. I had a lot of hope and optimism as a young person. I experienced a lot of wonder. I had a lot of good things, a lot of blessings in my life. And at a certain point, life started to break down. And then, like you said, when you start actually learning about the systems that are governing so much of our lives and how just dumb and broken they are, and so non-caring they are, and how much they could be fixed but fucking won't be.
Yeah.
It's a natural conclusion to start giving up wonder and hope and optimism and even activism and just go into fucking cynicism or survival or whatever. And just over X amount of years through my 20s, I didn't even realize, like, I don't think I had felt hope in a while.
Wow.
And when it started to come back, it really hit me how much I had been living without it. And you fucking can't. You have to have some sense of wonder in your life.